Hello. Guess I'll wait for people to show up. Let's have a look at the chat. For which there'll be no one yet. Chat. Can I see the chat? How does this work? Come on. How am I meant to see the chat? This is ridiculous. I guess it will show up, or they'll scroll down or something. I've never used YouTube on the phone before. Hello, J. Fred. I'm streaming from the Sunborn in London. And if you want to ask anything, then go right ahead. Anything related to games or music, whatever. I'll set this up a bit better. I'm just angling it on my bed. Alright. There's probably a better way to do this. 1 second. If I go by the table. Alright. Let's try and do this a bit more properly. Oh god, where the messages? When was the first time I played Streets of Rage? It was around 2000 because I was quite late when it came to video game consoles. I tended to get cast-offs from my brother, and he got the N64 when I got the Mega Drive. So, well, to say that a bit better, I got the Mega Drive when he got an N64, and yeah, I discovered Streets of Rage on the compilation Mega 6 Volume 3, which also has Revenge of Shinobi, Sonic 1, Columns, Super Monaco GP, and that football game. What are the other messages? They only pop up when someone types a new one. Just trying to, if I can display it, that'll be better. But as for the first time I played, yeah, it was very influential in my music because I was discovering dance music around that time. Started off with the Michael Jackson remix album, Blood on the Dance Floor, and then I moved on to, I suppose it was the next thing, sort of Mega Drive games, and Yuzo Koshiro's. He's a big influence on me. And I found other artists in trance and chill out, sort of other genres as well, drum and bass, which I haven't really done much, but I've done a few times. If I could just get that down. There we go. J. Fred, very nice. I really want to come to the UK in a year or two. Yeah, I'd recommend it. There are some nice places. You don't have to necessarily stick to the city. You can find some nice places out in Kent or Somerset. That's where Bristol is. Yeah, I recommend Bristol very much. And Kent if you want some really nice open spaces. But if you're a big drinker, like if you like your beer, if you're a big expert on beers and stuff, then I recommend Bristol because they've got loads of craft pubs. I've been to a few of those when I first visited back in June. So, what do people think of that remix I put up yesterday? Yeah, that was a. Well, it probably took me about an hour to make, although I didn't work on it non-stop. I started at about 8 PM and then I was uploading it at 2:30 in the morning. Yeah, I'm just trying to get used to this YouTube setup. It's not too bad. I hope the video itself is alright, and the frame rate is adequate. Solid. Hey Icefano, I have a hard time to get The Last Soul, Alternative Y Suite out of my mind for a while. Oh, no, thanks. Glad you like that. That's probably my favourite track from Streets of Wrath, aside from Miami Moon, which is, I still listen to it and love it. Yeah, that album came out really well, but it was done really quickly as well. Took about 2 months. Started in May 2017, finished in August, but early August, so it still counts as 2 months. Yeah, this Streets of Rage 2 has taken ages because I try really hard on some tracks and then I sort of get burnt out. So I need to take breaks for a while, but I do want to have it out by this year. Been to Cambridge, says J. Fred. Yeah, I've been a few times. Not for a while, maybe a year or two. And what other Sega games do you like? Says no. If I could list off some of my favorites, there's Alien Storm. What else? Road Rash, Columns, Outrun, Super Hang On. Just trying to think my collection. I'm not really good at doing on-the-spot stuff, which is probably something I shouldn't say when I'm doing a live stream. But yeah, I like the platformers and the sort of arcade style games, but I don't like sports games, except if it's Tony Hawk, because that at least combines other genres. I missed a message there. Let's see. Khan, are you a fan of Shenmue? Yeah, I played the first one around. Well, it was. I think it was shortly after it came out because my brother got a Dreamcast at one point, but then I eventually got my own in 2010, and Shenmue was, I think, the first game I got for it. And I recently got Shenmue 2, but I'm yet to play it. I've considered buying the digital Shenmue 1 and 2, but I haven't played Shenmue 2 in the physical form yet, so I want to do that first. But the soundtrack's really good. They had about, for the first game, they had about 6 composers, and Yuzo Koshiro from Streets of Rage was one of them. Rain, what's your favourite Streets of Rage character and game? The first game and Adam. But in terms of each individual game, my favourite character is Axel for the second game and Zan for the third. Probably Adam again for remake version 5. And for 4, well, we'll have to see. Solid. Now that you said that you like the Y Suite, not sure how to properly ask this, but here goes. All right. Just taking the delay into consideration. So 11p watching. That's quite good for my channel. I don't know how to word that better, but the view been, I think, getting better because I'm now getting comments every day. I don't think I used to about a few months ago, whenever it was. Oh, let's check the message. Six Machines Zeb. Hi Sveno, you have truly been my soundtrack to 2018. Thank you. Oh, thanks a lot. That means a lot to me. Yeah, I'm always trying to yeah, I think I've explored a lot of different stuff this year and last year. Last year I actually found the Streets of Rage sounds, and I got all the sample packs and drum loops, so I could actually make any kind of Genesis Mega Drive music. And I think I think it was the next day that I made that Streets of Rage remix of When All Else Fades, which is still one of my best ones. I'm tempted to promote this stream, but I can't really do that on while I'm doing it on this phone. I'm not sure. I might have to grab my tablet in a minute. Oh, 12 people watching. Hello all. If you're new or if you want to ask any questions, then say hello and feel free. I'll get my tablet, I think. I'll have to show you my room at some point. Okay. I'm missing. Oh. Well, got to scroll up a bit. Yusuf says, how do you have videos that are over 3,000 views? I guess the easy answer is that people are lazy. Because you find with bigger channels, they get promoted a lot. So people have to be reminded, I guess. It's not me trying to be mean about people. It's just, I think naturally people sort of forget and you have to remind them. 3-0. Hello. Yes, I'm enjoying my break, thanks. I'm just here for tonight, basically, and then I'll be checking out in the morning. But the reason I'm here is because there was a Sega gaming event run by Restron. It was on the top of the boat. It was quite good. Got the sort of bar area, a sort of symmetrical spiral staircase almost. It's kind of in halves. I'm not sure how to explain it. Yusuf Khan, message retracted. Oh. Martel, yeah, I'm on a yacht, but it's not mine. Yeah, this is the hotel, the Sunborn in London, by the Docklands, and it's a place I've always wanted to stay at, and the room wasn't cheap either. I got it would have been about £189 without breakfast, but I included breakfast and that brought it up to £208.50. But I haven't been spending a lot, so I figured I'd just make an exception. Not to try and boast about wealth or whatever, because obviously I'm not wealthy yet, but I hope to be. Hope to travel the world and maybe do music tours if I get really successful. Let's try and boot up the internet on. Here we go. Sign in. I wish there was an option to just keep the chat on the screen. I'm not so much of a narcissist that I have to look at my face in its entirety. Hotel guests. Live chat. Room number. I wonder if it will let me. I think it will. Sign in on more than one device. Yusuf Khan, have you tried Streets of Rage on the phone? I tried the MDMU. I don't know if you know of it. It's called MD.mu. I really can't get on with touchscreen controls, unfortunately. I've got a SNES emulator though. I've got some basic games like Puzzle Bobble and some RPGs, because RPGs are easy on touchscreen. You don't have to really... You're not in a hard way in the same way you would be in a platformer. So I choose those kinds of games. Seb says, just wondering how old are you? I am 35 and grew up in the 90s with Mega Drive games. I got you, don't disappear, don't. I got onto you last year along with other Sega remixes. Ah, cool. Yeah, I'm 29. I'll be 30 in October. And people are often surprised when I tell them how old I am, because they think I look 25 or something. Because I've lived quite a sheltered life and it's kept me young. Alright, so let's actually promote my stream. Same age as me, Solo. What's your full name? Solo Mitch. Nice. Yes, you look younger and looking good, no homo. That's quite alright. Alright, so that's working. I just got wind of my face on the preview for the thumbnail. It's weird, they asked me to take a sort of a thumbnail picture. I would have preferred to post up like a still image or something, but I suppose it's sort of makeshift on the go type stuff. I wonder if anyone's still up in the UK at this time. 1:05 currently. Rain, also your content is very cool, bro. Keep it up. I will do that. I mean, every so often, every content creator goes through a sort of dry spell and they talk about quitting, but you know they never will. It's just something we say sometimes because we're frustrated and feel defeated. So whenever I say I've thought about quitting or whatever, it's just a momentary thing. I couldn't quit this, never. Alright, slopes. Whoop. It suggested stabbing. Streaming, please. Streaming live on IT channel Iceferno Pro. Alright, what have I missed? Seb says, personally I am drinking some vodka and coke. Oh, nice. Was listening to your playlist, then got a phone notif about this live stream, and here I am, lol. I just about read that in time before it disappeared again. Yeah, it's nice to have so many people here and responding. I mean, now it's only 6 people, but this is quite an active chat compared to what I used to get. Yeah, so I do feel like the channel is growing, which is great news. Let me just try and angle the camera a bit more. Is that any better? I wonder. That'll do. Okay. I posted in the Slopes Game Room Discord. Let's try Facebook. I think in terms of how long I'll stream, I'm not sure yet. Possibly for another hour. I'm getting pretty tired. I guess Slow won't be able to watch. He's already on a stream of his own. Oh well. Let's find my groups. Any more questions or general messages? Let's see if I can promote. Do this. Copy link, please. Share. There we go. Check once again. Post in the actual Iceferno page, maybe that'll get something. Then do what I usually do, I share it onto my group, Iceferno and Friends. which is open to everyone, but for some reason I still have to approve members. Let's do that again. It's another thing about Facebook. You have to post the link twice so that it actually shows up the second time. It's kind of weird. Live on. Oh. Live on. Oh no. Oh. All right. 7 people. Welcome, new guys. Introduce yourselves. Any questions you want to ask? Yusuf Khan says, what are some of your favorite remixes? Oh, that's a tough one. But I suppose the easy way to answer is by year. So this year's remix would be the one of Dub Slash from Streets of Rage 3. Last year was Back to the Industry from Streets of Rage 2, my remix of that, the Mutant Mix, which I recreated tracks from Armin van Buuren and Tiesto in. Alright. I don't know what to pose this, I want to just do it now. And then share, please. Facebook, yeah. Alright, messages. Oh, come on. Yeah, it's hard to pick my favourite remixes because I'd have to have my bio on hand, which I could open it up on my tablet. I'll do that in a minute when I've done doing my posts. Share, please. Come on. The group. Alright, what have I missed? Oh. Solid says, is there any free VST having similar Genesis instruments? There are some of your tracks where you use Genesis instruments. Free, you can get the Ultimate Mega Drive sound font. That's probably the best free one you can get. But there are a few others, I think. I haven't really properly used them. There's YM2612, or the sort of VST that's actually based on the sound chip itself. And another option is VOPM, but it's quite complicated. There's like a whole bank of patches that you have to alter, but you can download presets. So sometimes that's how I use the Streets of Rage piano. I just put in Fateful Meeting from Streets of Rage 3 because that's entirely piano, and use that. Other times I'll use FM Drive, which you have to pay for, but it's only about $10. And I use the presets on that. But the thing about for FM Drive is you can't play more than 3 notes at the same time. So the best thing to do is duplicate the plugin and put 3, so you have 3 more, and hopefully you only have to do it like once, so you can use 6 notes. But it's a bit awkward like that. But on the plus side, you can actually make stereo sounds, whereas with VOPM it's not as easy to stereo the sound. Who is your favorite video game remixer on YouTube? What is your favorite? Why can't it just stay on screen? Also, what is your favorite Sega Mega Drive remix by another person? Okay, my favorite remixer on YouTube. Oh, that's a tough one. I've heard stuff from Mixer Productions and Uzo Boy. I think it was Uzo Boy who did that alternate version of Marble Zone from Sonic 1, which I think was in the Sonic trilogy, Sonic SNES trilogy. Yeah, he did an alternate version of Marble Zone, which is really good. He put it in a different key and changed some of the instruments. And I really like that one. What else we got? Oh, I think if I scroll it, it might stay on screen. I have to keep scrolling constantly, which means I'm moving my phone a bit, sorry. Super cart, I think, says Solo Mitch. Super audio cart for contact. It has SNES sounds, SNES, Genesis and NES. Oh, that's good. Solid says, when composing a music, which part of the process is the most boring and the most challenging? Well, in many cases, it's just starting the track. If you're doing it from scratch, you have to come up with everything. But remixes, the only thing you really do decide is what style, and maybe make a few, take a few liberties maybe. So put your own stuff in to an existing song. That's a lot easier. But that's one of the things about Streets of Wrath. It was basically, the idea was me composing to media. That's kind of one of the basic things about it, aside from it just being Streets of Rage, because that's one of my most influential games. So that's one of the reasons I did it, and the other was to experiment with composing to images, which I've done a bit before, but not to the same extent. And that's how I came up with some of the great tracks you hear. In terms of choosing the key, sometimes I have to go with the original, like the original key. So you'll notice that Moon Beach and Miami Moon, they have the same tone, also the same key. And it's the same with Fighting in the Street and Streets of Wrath. And yeah, I try to choose my own key, but sometimes I kind of have to choose the original key. So, oh, come on, live chat, please. Boring, most challenging. Is that it? Yeah, I think that's the latest. So, anything else people want to know? Welcome to any new viewers. Let's check I think I've got another sale today. Oh, yesterday. Well, technically still today for some of you. Yeah, it's cool. My Streets of Wrath is doing better because I gave a copy to Slope and he's been promoting it a bit, so that's been really cool. So I've kind of made friends with him, which is really positive. Oh, sorry. Most boring, most challenging. And Yusuf says, have you even done any collabs with anyone? If not, you might want to, so you can get more popularity. Back in the day, I did a few with some trance producers, like there's a Dutch guy called Javenta and a British guy called Stevie Bond. I did a few with them, but not much else really. There's a guy in Germany who he's not very active. He's not very active on social media, but every time he remixes me, I'm very impressed with what he comes up with. So I feel like there should be a collaboration there, but there hasn't been yet. He's called Cultures. Oh wait, he was called Cultures. He changed his name to Hergelhurst. But you can find his remix on YouTube. He did one of my track, The B Factor. And he also did one of Star Hill. Star Hill was one of my great tracks from 2009. I don't know if there was anything in a game called Star Hill, but it's nothing to do with video games. It's entirely original. Yeah, I probably should have done this stream a little bit earlier for some of the British fans, but the event, I wanted to make the most of the event. That's kind of the main reason I was here, which yeah, it was really good. Oh, excuse me. Various Sega consoles, You got Master System, Mega Drive, Dreamcast, Saturn as well. That was fun. I played a game I'd never even heard of. It was called, what was it called? Power Jet Racing 2001 or something on the Dreamcast. It was a jet ski game. That was quite interesting. It's similar to Wave Race, but handles a little differently. Alright. Any more questions from anyone? Oh, it never stays on screen, does it? No, no new messages at the moment. So, yeah, actual room. See if I can show it in the way that shows what I'm showing you, if that makes sense. But here we go. We got sort of the TV, a couple of glasses. I think that's a coffee machine. Phone. Sorry about that. It just took me off. So I'll try and show you my room without any more interruptions. So yeah, we've seen that. That's sort of the main door when we come in. Let's do it like this. We enter. So actually, must be an easier way to do this. Let's flip the camera. There we go. Can I focus? There we go. Yep. That's my bed. Is what is that? Some kind of on-screen interface, I guess, for room service. Yeah, mirror. Not a whole lot to show, but it's quite a big space. I'm impressed with it, and I'll try showing you the outside view if it will show up. That's sort of the Docklands. What was it called? Custom House. That's the. Well, you can't see it, but it's sort of right in the distant centre. I came down those steps and this way, and some of the sort of nearby hotels you got as well. You can't really see because it's obscured, but that's Novotel, and the Ibis Hotel is behind it. So let's try. I know, I've got an idea. Oh. I'm going to flip the camera back round in a second, and hopefully you'll have a better view. There we go. Got a bit of background now. How was that? Still not exactly easy to do high up stuff. Don't really have any books or anything I can. Oh, actually, I do. Let's use all of them. Okay, let's see if this works. Not sure that that does much. Sort of put it further away. How's that then? Let's check my messages. Oh, damn it. Here we go. Live chat. Crimson Wolf, the Music Man himself. I don't know those characters. Don't know Japanese, unfortunately. If it even is Japanese, it might be Korean. So, is there anything anyone would like to know? Let's just center myself a bit more. A last question of mine says, Solid, do you make music during your free time? Yeah, basically that's kind of when I do make it. Yeah, it's not really professional yet. Although my dad likes to think I am professional because I get paid, but it's not really regular enough. But it's a lot more than it was, which I'm very happy with. Crimson Wolf, I love your works. Thank you very much. If anyone has any favourites, then do let me know. And if it's too hard to pick a favourite, just pick one maybe you've been listening to a lot lately, or what's my recent thing that you liked or something. Is that wonky? I think it's all right. Miami Moon, yay! It's one of my favourites too. So you bought the album, didn't you? Because anyone who buys it gets to enjoy the extended version, the club mix. I think that's another plus to delaying Streets of Wrath 2. I can sort out my bonus tracks because I don't really have many at the moment. So if I released it on time, well, whenever that was, but if I released it the 30th of August, then I wouldn't have much bonus material. But even on its own, it's about 22 tracks because there's so many levels and so many different themes. And I think there's is there more in Streets of Rage 3? I know they've got a lot more boss themes. They've got about 4 different boss themes, which is quite incredible. Guys, Yusuf said something about Guile's theme. Come on. Oh, Guile's theme remix is one of my favourites. Thanks a lot. Yeah. And I'm impressed that some people have spotted in there that I put some of Miami Moon into it. So it's always cool when people spot my sort of reference tracks. Shinobi remix. Would that be the Sonic Mania one? Press Garden Zone? What have I done? Oh, I've only done 3. I did Press Garden Zone as the Shinobi track, Terrible Beat as a trance remix, and the first level as a 8-bit NES remix. Oh, Terrible Beat, nice. Yeah, that was a really good one. It was a request, I think, as well. I get a few requests, but I'm kind of glad I don't get more because some of them are quite hard and it takes me ages to do them and I start to feel guilty. And I've got a request that I received in January, which I still have to do. But it's not as long as the Parasite Eve one. That took about a year and a half. Yeah, commissions, that's basically what I mean, the sort of remix request thing. So depending on how much you can afford, then I can try out something. But it's a fair warning. I must warn you that sometimes they will take a while. So if you're willing to wait, then I can do it. Inbox. jeez, someone's being a smart ass. All right. Spanner, hello. Welcome. How's it going? That's something I should have asked everyone else. How is it going? Having a good day? Commissions fees. Well, one guy recently offered me £25, but I suppose whatever you think is reasonable. It was £10 for a long time, but I'd like to bring it up a little. Am I posted on Twitter? Does it get posted to Twitter when I stream? I know it does when the stream ends. But what about when it starts? Doesn't look like it. Oh, I think I missed a message there. Oh, come on. Time to go now. Keep up the good work, says Solid. Yeah, cool. Thanks for joining me. Spanner says, it's going good. Thanks for asking. Kind of 1 a.m. here in Britain, so I can't hang on long. Yeah, I'm alright. I've been attending a gaming event. That's why I'm on a yacht. It was Restron's sort of Sega night that they do every month or so. But this location is once a year, so I had to get to this, and it's quite nice. Took some photos inside and out on the deck, so you got a sort of distant view of Canary Wharf at night. It's very nice. I'll see if I can post some pictures if they're any good. Yusuf says, are there any newer games that you enjoy? It's hard. Yeah, I don't really play modern games, so I can't really answer that one. I'm going to check my Steam collection, see if there's anything recent I happen to have. Oh, what's going on here? Steam, let's just restart that. Oh, great. Got to log in, for God's sake. I've had this app for ages and it's asking me to log in all of a sudden. What do you think of Final Fight 2 OST? Yeah, it's quite good. I like some of the tracks, yeah. Creeping Weeping is probably my favourite from it. There aren't all that many that stand out. I think Final Fight 3 had the best soundtrack of all of them, except the first game got a lot of remixes, like through Guy's theme being an update of the Slums, so that sort of updated it for Street Fighter Alpha and various Street Fighter games. Street Fighter 4 Guy's theme is really good, and the remix in Alpha 3, which is quite good. I was addicted to that for a while. And Double Impact, of course. You've got some great, very tough, aggressive remixes in that. But I would say Final Fight 3 is my favourite soundtrack out of the series. Because of, what's it called? Law and Disorder. That's probably my favourite track. I can't really remember many of the names, but that one really stuck out. And I want to do Streets of Rage versions of Final Fight songs in future. I started a Law and Disorder one. Haven't managed to finish it yet. Great. What else have people been saying? Nothing since Final Fight 2. Okay. I'm into my Steam. I don't know if I can see my collection, but I'll try. Storage library. Can't sort by year. How am I going to do this? Oh. Come on. It's loading. What's the most recent one then? I think maybe Trackmania 2, although that was that 2011? It's not that recent. 2013 DuckTales Remastered came out that time. What else? 13 was also, was that Bioshock Infinite? Was that 11? I think it was 11. Ballistic NG, if that counts. That's a sort of remake of Wipeout 3. Sort of a, well, not really a remake, but a fan-inspired one. They kind of made their own engine and based it on Wipeout 3. Sort of like what Streets of Rage Remake did. They made their own engine and based it on the actual games. And that's much like what Sonic Mania did with the retro engine. But someone was telling me about it in a comment recently. What else? Contagion, that was fairly recent, wasn't it? Like 2014? Who is your favourite Final Fight character and why? I think I like Guy the most because he walks quite fast and he handles quite well. Although Hacker has more fun moves, I guess. But I tend to find playing as Guy the best. Oh yeah, another game quite recent, I think, Unbox. What's it called? Unbox Newbie's Adventure. When did that come out? That's a sort of Banjo-Kazooie style game. Although it doesn't have, it's not very big. It's got three almost open world levels. But it's not a whole lot to it. But it was fun. If we're going to just get to the actual page. The page, please. 2016. Yeah, I'd recommend that if you're into a sort of big open world type game, but with sort of Banjo-Kazooie Mario 64 gameplay. So the collect 'em ups, they call them, don't they? Shadow Warrior, that was 2013, wasn't it? Oh yeah, there's going to be a new Serious Sam, isn't there? Serious Sam 4, I guess. It was really weird because a while back they cancelled 4 and they were saying Serious Sam 5 would be next because they cancelled 4. It was weird how that worked, but now they're just calling it 4 again, which is good. No, I don't have many new games really. I did want to get Doom 4, but I didn't have enough room for it. It was like 600 gigabytes or something. I don't know if that was maybe an error or something, but yeah, it'll be a while till I have that much space. That might have to be my next computer. What are people saying now? Nope, nothing since favourite Final Fight character. Have you heard of the Atari VCS? Says Yusuf. No, I haven't, so I can't give you my opinion, unfortunately. I suppose the Atari I'm most familiar with is the 2600. That's mostly because of the Angry Video Game Nerd. But for a while, back in the 90s when I had a Spectrum, yes, that happened, I had a Spectrum. I think we had a few magazines of the Spectrum, and there was sort of a similar system called the Atari ST, which seemed to port popular games to varying success. Atari VCS is a new console. Wow. When was their last one? What was that? The Lynx or something? Was that? No, it was a Jaguar, wasn't it? They're trying to get back into the gaming industry. Well, I suppose they never really left, if you count all the collections and stuff. But maybe you don't. Yeah, they should start developing again. I don't know if they still are. But they had some good arcade stuff. So probably 20 more minutes and then I'll call it a night. Crimson says, we're making a Final Fight game and we're wondering if you're able to make an album with some original tracks and some well-known ones. What, well-known Final Fight music? Because I don't. Well, wouldn't you need the rights to that or something? But in terms of Final Fight, or if it's a fan game, then I guess that'll be easier to do that. But yeah, I'll see if I can help you out with that. Very interesting. Oh yeah, did you hear about Final Fight Apocalypse? I've been trying to download it, but I couldn't unpack the game. It was in some weird format. Yeah, it's a fan game. Okay, thanks. That clears it up. Yeah, Final Fight Apocalypse. If anyone's got it or can get it, then that'd be great, because I've seen clips of that and it looks really good. Sort of like the Final Fight equivalent of Streets of Rage remake. I did try Final Rage Chaos, but it's still very hard, so I wasn't able to really enjoy it. Although they combined the two series well. Let's see if I can change to portrait. That might be better. Rotate device. Oh, can I do that? Bear with me. I guess I'm stuck in landscape. I'll just hold it. Final Fight Apocalypse, yeah. I don't really know much about it apart from the clips, but it seems to be a fan game. Or sort of a fan remake. Getting a bit of a headache. I think I need to go soon. Shouldn't do that, I guess. I can't. And we're back. Sorry about that. Blame Wi-Fi. I know I am. But what I was going to say was I'd like to do a pro stream again soon. Sort of my computer, like OBS, Steam, I'll be playing Mega Drive games because that's what people tend to want. Yeah, I'd really like to stream Streets of Wrath 2 soon, but I can't do it yet. Hopefully within this year. That's all I should say, but I want to get it done in September if I can. We shall see. Final Fight Super Gold Plus. No, I've never heard of that. Is that a official title, like a Super Famicom type thing? Yeah, I don't really know about it. Let's close my curtains. I've just noticed they're open. Alright, yeah, I'll probably stop streaming soon, but probably, what time is it? 46. I'll try and go for 15 more minutes, but basically when I get to 0 viewers, then I'll stop. Yeah, another fan game, Super Gold Plus. Yeah, Final Rage Chaos is the only one I'm really familiar with. And Apocalypse, which I haven't been able to play. Yusuf says, gonna go now. Thanks for all your music and good luck on your next tracks. Oh, thanks a lot. I'm gonna need that luck. Yeah, there was another sort of fan game. Well, it's a Streets of Rage. It's called Bare Knuckle 6. I don't know if you've heard of it. It's, I think it was a Chinese one made on the open bore engine. And it's kind of interesting, but it's quite a flawed game. And yeah, I'd definitely say take a look at it if you can find a safe copy. Hello, welcome. Oh, and gone again. Okay, so any more questions from anyone? Yeah, not much longer to go really. So, hope you've enjoyed seeing me in the yacht room. And we just passed an hour. Yeah, not much to say. I need more questions. All right. Are you pumped for Streets of Rage 4, says Crimson Wolf? You better believe I am. I know people, it's sort of a mixed feeling in the trailer comments, because you got some people saying they don't like the art, and I got into a bit of an argument with one guy because he was saying, oh, you're just cattle, you're liking it for the name. Well, I kind of am, because it's Streets of Rage 4, it's a big deal. 24 years since the last one, and I want to see where they go with it. I'm not just going to say it looks crap, because it's not being released yet. And I'm optimistic that the developers will take the feedback on and say you should change it to this, or maybe pixel art will work better. Get Yuzo Koshiro back. That's what a lot of people are saying. And I've sort of made some cheeky comments saying original composers or me. So yeah, it's an exciting time, I think. And that remix I did of the trailer music seems to be doing quite well. Crimson says, do you think they're going to add more characters? I think so. It wouldn't make sense to just have two, but I think perhaps they were just rushing to get a trailer out, so they just showed off what they have already. Because well, it was the end of August, and the first game came out in August, and I think that's why they did it. And that's kind of why it looks the way it does and has the tone that it does. Who do you want to see the most? Says Crimson. I want to see Adam. Adam needs to come back for sure. He was rescued in the second game, so you saw him in the end, and then he was a little more involved in 3. Like he guns down Jet at the end of round 6, and then when the lab is about to explode, he gets you out of there right at the end. So they do have a soft spot for the character themselves, but for some reason they didn't put him in the game. But yeah, I think other things I'd like to see from Streets of Rage 4 would be multiple endings and branching paths. So, you know, like in Streets of Rage Remake, you've got several different routes, and even those routes themselves, they have optional paths to take in a level. And I think that should come back, because it will give it so much more replay value. Imagine if Streets of Rage 4 had 4 routes like Remake does, and even more splitting paths on top of that. People would be playing it so much. I just hope they don't make it too hard. That's one of my worries, because it's modern and it's a different developer. It's not Ancient or Sega AM7, who did the first one. What do you think about the beard on Axel? I think it kind of works, because it has been over 20 years, and yet Blaze looks pretty much the same. I think perhaps her model's an early model, and maybe Axel's had a bit more work put in. So perhaps we'll see her sort of more in her late 30s or 40s or something. I think it might be interesting if they sort of age the characters, because it is 4, and the trilogy has sort of done what it can, and I think we do need an advancing story and a new villain if they're going to call it 4. She's bust, yeah, yeah, for sure. Yeah, but in terms of the story and expectations, I think if you're going to call it 4, or even anything after 3, then you need to introduce lots of new stuff, but keep enough of the original style. The sort of a relative of Mr. X that we didn't know about. Maybe he had a son. Maybe his son's getting revenge on the characters killing his father or something. Who knows? 6 more minutes and then I'll call it a day, because it's almost 2 p.m. or 2 a.m. I'd say. I'll give one last look of my room. Start from the beginning, of course. Here it is. The bed, the rest area, lounge, whatever you want to call it. TV, glasses for drink, coffee machine, I'm pretty sure. Yep. And a phone, which is probably for room service. And yeah, that's about it. So, what else has there been? Oh yeah, the snake lady. Yeah, Electra. Yeah, it's interesting how they did that. They sort of changed her whip into an electrified snake. I did at one point think I mistook it for an eel or something. Like it was, I thought it was a snake, but it was an eel, maybe. But that wouldn't really make sense because eels have to be in water. Electrified snake. It's an interesting thing, but it sort of makes it a bit less real, like the original games. You can see me in the mirror there. Yes, it's weird how they did that. But we did see some classic enemies, like Gaussia, Big Ben, Signal, Nora. I think that's it. Electra. Be interesting to see what the bosses will be. Alright, what's my time? 4 more minutes. Let's just set this down. I don't want to be wobbling constantly. I do have a sort of tripod, so I want to make use of it. That's about as good as I'll get it. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to not do it so late next time. Any messages? Oh, just saw the chat. Yeah, that's right. The snake lady was pretty cool. Nothing since. Okay. What? Go away. So, 2 minutes. Any more? Oh. It was really cool talking to you. We really admire your work, says Crimson. Yeah, thanks a lot. Hoping to put more on the channel very soon. I'll try and do more sort of short stuff, so it's not so long between videos. There are a few short remixes I want to do, and I'll try and get some original tracks finished and some previews uploaded, because I did start Moon Day 4 and I really want to finish that, because Moon Day 2 was so good and Moon Day 3 was a bit of a letdown, but Moon Day 4 I feel could be the best one. And people are still asking about Yellow Velvet, which was a 30-second track I made 7 years ago. So I'll have to get to that at some point. All right, not long now. So any final things you want to say, feel free, but I'm getting ready to leave. Okay, so the three that are here, thank you for staying for so long. It means a lot. I think my strings are doing a lot better than they did. I've said that before on here. Sort of, yeah, the messages have been coming a lot more, and my channel seems to be better than it was, so I'm happy with that, and it's thanks to you. So thank you, and I'll hope to see you all very soon.